So good day, welcome to my channel. Please do not forget to subscribe. So today we're going to look at how to freeze pane in Microsoft Excel. We have a data here of employees and their payroll. So we want to check how we can freeze pane and unfreeze pane in Microsoft Excel. When we're talking about pane, we're talking about the headers, okay? So that we can have information about the various feeds when we are scrolling. Okay, when we scroll up and down, okay, you can see that I cannot see the headers. It will be very difficult for me to be able to know where all these figures are talking about. Okay, what they are really saying. I know these are names. I don't know what this payments refer to. So I need to be able to once I scroll down, I should be able to see these things. Okay. So I should be able to see all the feeds of the employee name grade. I may have thousands of names, okay, and after scrolling down and the information disappears, so I would have to find a way to be able to see all these feeds, okay, this column headers. So what do we need to do now is to just come down to view. So on view we have, okay, you can see where we have a freeze pane. Okay, so where do I want to freeze? Okay, you can see unlock all rows and columns to scroll through. That's on freezing. Keep the top row visible while scrolling through the rest of the worksheet. Okay, so I'll click on this. This is the head down. This is what I want to be able to see whenever I scroll down. I'll just come down here, click on freeze pane, and also click on the freeze first column or freeze top row. I'll click on freeze top row. So this is the top row. So once I scroll down, okay, so let's see that. You can see that this did not move up. I can still see all the headers, okay, pointing to individual columns, okay. So I should be able to see. I can see that once I scroll up and down, it's not moving. So let me unfreeze now for us to see the difference. Okay, when I unfreeze the pane, you can see that I cannot see that header again. This particular header pointing to the various feeds, I cannot see that again because I've unfreeze that. Okay, so I can come here again, select, come down here and top row, freeze top row. Okay, so let me scroll again. You can see that I can still see that top row. So whenever I scroll down, I know that this is the annual rent, this is the pensionable emolument, and this is the annual transport allowance and the others. Okay, so this allows me to be able to see for myself, the various feeds. Even when I'm working with thousands or millions of data, okay, I can still see what those data are pointing at. Okay, so this is a typical employee payroll that I have here on my screen. This is the dashboard, based on the Nigerian Tax Act. Okay, where we have the employee basic salary, the annual housing allowance, the annual transport allowance. Okay, we know now that the things have changed based on the NTA tax, the Nigerian Tax Act of 2025, which has amended various compilations, okay, competitions of all the old tax, where we have a tax table that is quite different from what we have. I think now today we have, if you have a salary, a basic salary of 0 to 800,000 naira annually, you're not paying any tax on that. Okay, so and the pension contribution is 8% of employees contribution and 10% of the employer contributes 10%. But for us to be able to consider the payroll for tax purposes, we are only considering the pension contribution made by the employee. Okay, so that we can deduct that to be able to have the pay as you earn, the tax payable, okay, at the end of the month after proration. Okay, so this is just typically what we have here. So if I want to freeze this first column, I want to be able to see this first column, I'll just click on this and I'll click on freeze first column. Okay, so once I scroll vertically, I should still be able to see the first column. I can see that I can still see this first column. I can still see this first column. You can see that. So let me unfreeze this. I'll select it, point the cursor to this column. I will now come down here and click on unfreeze pane. Okay, so you can see that once I do that, I reduce that. I can see that I can't see the first column again. So with this, I cannot see the first column. Okay, so let me go back again and freeze this pane. So let me freeze the first column. So I'll freeze the first column and I can see what we have in the first column. So this is by way by which you can what you can freeze and unfreeze on Microsoft Excel. So thank you very much for your time, and I'll see you in the next video. And please don't forget to subscribe to the channel or to the handle, and also follow my page, and also share this among your friends and colleagues. Thank you, and God bless you.